же Сталинград растянулся вдоль большой реки. До сих пор здесь есть следы.
Good morning from Volgograd City. You know it's Soviet when you walk outside your hotel and you see this building here. You can see up there the hammer and sickle on the emblem of the Soviet Union. This is like the central post office. And up here, on each corner, clocks. They haven't got their hands on them anymore. It's probably not working, obviously. And straight across the road is this beautiful cathedral. Let's go and take a closer look and see if we can go inside. Just arriving at the front of the cathedral now, and you can see we have the plaques or murals depicting religious figures. But anyway, I'm going to go inside regardless, because right there it says no recording, no hats, no shorts, no dogs. And so yeah, I won't be able to get it on video. I'm going to go check out the inside of this mammoth cathedral. That's a very interesting cathedral. Lots of paintings on the ceiling, and yeah, it's just really big. But anyway, on with the day's adventures, and we'll see where we go. Here we come to an obelisk in what is called the Alley of Heroes. And here we have the eternal flame. Here, along this noisy road, is a central garden walking sort of park kind of thing. This is on Prospect Lenina. Now, every city of the former Soviet Union, and even some towns or villages in the oblast areas and other villages, all have a Prospect Lenina. And this one is probably the most beautiful one I've ever seen. Here, on the right, you can see it's all a rose garden, and it's slightly dying off because it is the end of autumn. There are some roses still blooming, and all the way up here at the end, there is a monument. Right here behind me, we have the monument to Comsomol members, the defenders of Stalingrad. Heroes from the Great Patriotic War from 1941 to 1945. Here we've arrived to Ploschad, Lenina, so Lenina Square. And who else is here? Vladimir Lenin. And right behind Lenin is a monument to the Great Patriotic War. Here you can see the images of the Soviet military, and it's a bit worn down, but in there it says 58, so this monument would have been erected in 1958. And here we have a monument to the Great Patriotic War. And just over here to the left, an obelisk. And here you can see the ruins of a building that remains of the Gergardt mill. And here in front is the children's round dance fountain and a military vehicle. But this is here as a monument to the memory of the Great Patriotic War. We have to realize that, like Leningrad and a lot of the hero cities, this is pretty much what remains of them, and they keep this here as that memory of what happened between 1941 and 1945. As part of the maintenance of such monuments like these, obviously the building structure itself is very unstable, so they maintain it to the best of their abilities, so it stands here for the rest of time. And here, trying to walk around, just huge puddles of water. And just across from the monument, you can see military vehicles. And cannons, guns, and a small boat. And here is the obelisk. Obviously this fence has been put here because it needs to be restored. And just down below you can see all different military machinery, such as trucks and tanks. And here, right in front of us, is the mighty Volga River. This location is quite significant in Volgograd, then named Stalingrad, to the front of the Great Patriotic War. And this is where the Soviets held the front line to try to stop the Germans from crossing the Volga. And over here is a museum dedicated to the battle for Stalingrad. And here is a fighter jet from the Soviet Union, which would have been used in the Battle of Stalingrad. And I think the words say up here something on the lines of Stalingrad with victory from the fascist army. Words by Stalin himself. And just here across from the mill is the remains, which is a monument wall. It's a memorial wall monument to the house of Sergeant Pavlov. As you can see here, when they were rebuilding this area, they've built a Stalinka around this wall, which is the remains of a house that was once standing here. Here is a locomotive that would have been in operation in this area, and it's a military locomotive, and this is a hospital carriage. And here the Soviet steam train. And over here we have the Soviet military tanks. This one is an ISU number 152. Here is an IS-2. You can see on the fronts of these tanks they have spare tracks, so they can repair the tracks out on the field. Here is an IS-3 and a T-72. Here is a tank installed as a monument, which is the T-34-76, which was destroyed. It's now a monument. And over here next to it is a military vehicle which would have housed missiles on the top. It is a BM-13 Katyushka, or Katyusha, I should say. Here we have a T-34 tank. And you can see written on the side, Za Stalingrad. Along the front of the museum you have various mobile artillery from 1942, 1943. And over here, another one also. This one is actually from 1939. And over here, we have a Samolette SU BB1 Fighter plane.
Воспринимательный комплекс Европа, второй цель скрывается.
So here we've arrived to the next destination here in Volgograd, and we're standing in front of the Memorial of Generations. And here we have the memorials for the hero cities of the Soviet Union: Smolensk, Murmansk, Brestskaya, Tula, Kursk, Novosibirsk, Sevastopol, Odessa, Minsk, Kiev, Leningrad, and Moscow. And here behind me are the stairs that lead all the way up to Mamaev Kurgan, the monument which is named the Motherland Calls. This is one of the locations in Volgograd where they've built a multitude of monuments which are dedicated to the Great Patriotic War. And here, on the halfway mark up all of these stairs, is a monument called Fight to the Bitter. And here, as we almost complete climbing the stairs, we have more monuments. This one is called No One Step Back. And this one over here is Move Only Forward. And by move forward, that would mean move forward to over here to the mighty Volga River. And here we have monuments depicting scenes here in Volgograd, then Stalingrad, during the time of war. And now we're going to enter the Hall of Military Glory. Up here on the walls, in a mosaic, are the names of all the fallen who fought and died in the battle for Stalingrad. And I can see, from looking at all the names, there were families, fathers, sons, maybe even grandfathers that died during the Battle of Stalingrad. As I come out of the hall, besides the noisy repairmen that are here, you can see behind me, well hopefully you can see behind me, the Motherland Calls monument, which I'm heading up there in a moment, and it's starting to drizzle rain. But here is another monument, quite a sizable one, and it shows a woman, probably a mother or a wife, holding in her arms one of the fallen men, either her son, brother, or husband. Okay, I'm going to make the long walk up. It's a huge monument. It's one of the things that attracted me to come here, is to see such a great monument. It's a shame that today it's decided to drizzle and be cloudy, but the wind conditions are quite still. And I brought my drone with me, and I was hoping to fly around the monument, and because it's drizzling I just can't take it up. So we're going to have to admire this monument from the ground. here, as I've just wiped my camera lens, standing directly under the monument, you can see just how enormous this thing is. And it has various plaques along the base. And from here, from the observation area at the monument, we look down to the River Volga. And here, just behind the Motherland Calls monument, we have the memory wall. So from here, I think it's time to go and get something to eat. I'm absolutely starving. And yeah, it's quite a moving place here at Mamaev Kurgan, and seeing all these monuments. So anyway, I'm going to leave it here with the Motherland Calls in the background, and I'll continue after eating something for lunch and refueling, and we'll try and explore some other parts of Volgograd. Okay, so while I was having a late lunch after the monuments, the rain started coming down. So I had to stay indoors for over an hour or two. So I'm just here at this big Ferris Wheel, now behind me, and I might see if I can get up there to see if we can get a bird's eye view of Volgograd.
Если сильно жарко станет, кондиционер включится, когда кнопочку 2 раза.
Спасибо. Okay, so we've got a ticket. We're going to take a ride on the Ferris wheel. It's going to take a little bit to get because it goes very slow. Here we have the bridge crossing the mighty Volga, lit up with all the colours of the rainbow. Over here is Volgograd City. I hate when these things swing. These things scare the crap out of me. Seriously. I'm going to sit down and hopefully get the best view. Over here behind us is the stadium that was built for the 2018 FIFA World Cup. And down below us is the Park Kulturi, which is the Park of Culture. After this, I need to head back to the city centre and head towards the railway station. So the trip has come to an end, and sad to say, I'm going to leave Volgograd tonight and head back to St. Petersburg. Bye, Volgograd.